Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. This your host, Rich, out here once again in the BX. Just give y'all, these brothers out here, they about to set up shop. In the, they got their store opening up soon. So they about to set up shop out here, getting things together. Entrepreneurs at their finest. But we out here with Red and Blue Pill, man. Welcome back, brothers.
Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Family. All right.
Yo, man, we living in a time where, first of all, I want to tell the Patreon family the Panic Patreon video is going up, if not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. So all the Patreon members, and if you're not on Patreon, I advise you to go there. That's the place to be. Sign up. Show support on a monthly basis, and you got a lot of exclusive videos up there. But listen, moving to today's conversation. Wow, they're burning Nikes. I mean, our grandparents, they was burning crosses and things. That Tiki went from crosses to Tiki torches. Now they're burning Nikes, man. It's some weird times. This Kaepernick story, Blue's been talking about this for quite some time. Blue said Kaepernick had this Christ energy. And we all know what Christ did for everybody. Christ sacrificed himself for the entire world.
That's right.
So in 2012, was it 2012 Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yeah, Blue was talking about how,
2012.
Kaepernick had this Christ energy.
And let me explain why. I was doing my research, of course, my Super Bowl predictions, which I was pretty much famous for at that time because I was on the money.
You're not Myra, though. You're not Myra.
No, it started with the fact that Myra, she chose the Steelers a few years back. I had chose Green Bay Packers because I was following the law of 44. I was right, she was wrong. No disrespect to Sister Myra, she's a legend. And I honor the fact that she also was including a stellar narrative in all of her stories.
That's right.
But I just felt that, I was on to something and I stuck with it. And, my New York Giants Super Bowl prediction was legendary.
It was.
You feel me?
It was.
And, we was following it up. Kaepernick ran for 244 yards and he beat Atlanta, eclipsing the other number 7, Michael Vick. So it caught my attention. I started paying attention to him. I started doing my research and I found out he was a 44 resonator. In particular, when I did a gematria on his name, his gematria numbers came out to 876. All right, and 876 means the Prince of Peace. So he had the Christ energy. The other number that he came up with was 77. 77 resonates strongly with us because that's also the pillars, and it also means sacrifice. Not only sacrifice, but game foul. So he was going to play in New Orleans, right? The Saints come marching in, going against the Baltimore Ravens. We know about the halftime show. We know about the Superdome.
Remind me what happened at halftime.
At 13 minutes and 22 seconds, which is 44, the stadium, half of the stadium lights went out. It was red and black. It was red and white in the stadium. Of course, if you would go to the tape when Beyonce performed, she had the red and black motifs in terms of, she was dressed like the referee leading up to that particular game. She Gemini, she twinned herself. This is when Gemini was in Jupiter. All of these astrological indicators were showing me, and of course we're talking about one of the main 44 resonators, Beyonce, whose birthday just passed today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her.
Shout out to Wisdom Bella, my daughter.
And all of the other special people that were born on this day.
A lot of, shout out to Casey.
Venerate the Virgos, that's the hashtag. We're gonna have this whole movement, you know what I'm saying? So 77, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the whole aspect of sacrifice. I was looking at him and I was like, yo, this dude is the sacrificial, you know what I'm saying? He's the sacrifice. He's the sacrificial lamb. He's going to get on the cross. I said this back in 2012.
He did.
But even when Rashid was talking about 2012, he said that the light from the Galactic Center, Big Mama, that we was just revisiting that topic on 8/8, dealing with the Lion Gate portal, he said that light takes 4.4 years to reach the Earth. So it technically hits in 2016, and 2016 is when our brother became the sacrifice. So, like I said, this is my unique vision. I'm looking through my azul colored glasses, and this is how I see the world. That's how I put it together.
So,
and I'm right, god damn it.
So with that being said, the entire world, the entire social media, CNN, you can't escape the story about Nike deciding to make Kaepernick their spokesperson. You know, they got him on their ads.
For their 30-year campaign of the Just Do It campaign, all right, he has been resurrected. You dig what I'm saying? He's been resurrected because corporately, what? His corpse, he was dead as a corpse. Dead. He was looked at somebody that you can't touch no more. He was a no-go. He was an untouchable. They put him in the bin. He was hanging on the cross. There was flies around his body. The vultures were circling and picking. The spear was already in his side. He was finito. So last week, he got the reprise in terms of the arbitrator, right, deciding that there was merit in his court case dealing with the collusion, right? Where else have we heard a collusion case in the media from? The other 44 resonated Donald Trump. So they said that there was still merit with this particular case, and they said that it should go on with him and the other NFL players.
Which ultimately breathed life, right, into his corpse, right, and began to give him air in his lungs. And then here comes Nike with the, what do they call that, the defibrillator?
Right. And right, for anybody, again, that's been following the narrative, especially if you was there in Virginia, when I broke that thing down, right, and the lotto came out that night for 444's Messiah and Gematria. But in particular, we was talking about scorpionic energy. Shout out to Drake, like you said, running the rap game from the grave, dealing with that resurrection energy right here on Black Magic. I told you about that resurrection energy with the Thailand cave. So our brother Kaepernick happens to be what?
Scorpio.
A Scorpio.
Scorpion King.
Please continue.
So he basically was resurrected, right? What are the traits of a Scorpio? Resurrection. Our good brother Drake did what? He got bodied in early June, and he resurrected, and he ran the summer. He controls rap from the grave.
Can't be disputed.
Y'all saw him get bodied, but you didn't go to the wake. Why? Because he started cooking from the goddamn
from the cave.
From the cave.
From the grave.
He started cooking from the morgue. And he did what? The whole summer belongs to Drake.
Unanimous.
It's unanimous. And that's not me personally, I'm just saying. But that's the resurrection of the Scorpio energy. Yeah. The whole album Scorpio wouldn't even be what it was if not for the story of him getting bodied. Because he showed you in real time, this is what we do. You understand? Come back stronger. So you can't even make a new song dissing him right now. He's stronger than he was when he got bodied. So anyway.
So why do you think Nike made, I don't know if we will call it a bold move or not, or it was just, their stocks went down, I think.
It's a very bold move. It's a statement. It's a political statement. They decided to align their campaign and their forces behind someone who has made this political statement, and they're almost aligning forces with that political statement. That's to say, right. We endorse and support this person's efforts to sacrifice, to say, look, this is the true measure of a athlete or icon of our times. He's right. Immortalized.
Guess what? He has the Muhammad Ali energy. They won't say it now because
they got to wait till he's
that narrative is too early. Yeah. But
right,
set your timers down the line. Flip your calendar and they'll start talking that, they'll start giving them that
2040 and 2040.
That Ali cloth, yeah.
2044. Yeah.
Don't let him change his moniker. To Colin, you know what I mean? To Copper Colin Kaepernick El Bay. El Bay, you know what I'm talking about? And then they'll be like, well, then they'll really start the comparisons.
So once again, we were sitting here just last week talking about another 44 resonator, King James, right? And his move and shift towards that Ali energy. And this is also an individual who endorses and embraces the Kaepernick move. Serena Williams, all of the athletes now are now allowed to come out and say, and some of them have always stood by that brother. You know what I'm saying? But now they're even more so having the ability to say, look, he is triumphant in his ability to hold fast and stand for something, and that's what the Nike campaign. He held the charge long enough to create this particular frequency where he's impervious to anything that they throw at him. You know what I mean? Even Trump had to say, yo, I don't agree with what he did, but this is America and it's what it stands for. Hence why you see me in these red, white, and blue colors, because this shit is all about the Star Sirius. I already told you this. Dig what I'm saying? Right? And that star, that particular star, deals with resurrection. All right? Your ancient ancestors dealt with the orientation of going back home to that star when you transition here so you can transform and resurrect. Stop playing with me, man. So here we see it all playing out in archetypes and motifs, right?
It's only archetypes.
And what does Nike stand for?
It's the God
victory!
Victory!
Victory! So he's gonna body them in court. He's gonna walk away with the bag.
So that's your prediction?
Of course.
Okay.
Word.
Blue's bold prediction.
Nah,
Kaepernick is bodying them and walking home with the bag. He's bold tonight. hey, listen. So a lot of people aren't buying the patriotism game. That's, you know, people are acting like they're patriotic and they're burning the sneakers and they love the veterans. For those who who might buy that or might not understand what's going on, what's really behind them being mad at Kaepernick taking a knee or Nike signing him? What's really behind this this patriotism thing that we keep hearing in the news?
It's dealing with defiance. You know what I'm saying? They're appalled that he is bucking, right, at their system and their motifs, because they ascribe to a different meaning of what the red, white, and blue means. Right? Again, this is a trading banner that is used to sell beer, porn, you know what I'm saying? You name it. Guns. All the trash that this country represents, that flag is tied to it. So, you know, we know that it's not really about what it's about. It's about bang, bang, stay down, nigga. You feel me? And someone dared to resurrect and stand up when the bang banging was going on. And that's what he did. He was a corpse. He represented the corpse-filled body of melanated people who they wanted to stay down. You feel me? And he resurrected and he had something to say. You know what I mean? During a time when everybody else was silenced. You know what I mean? So the whole aspect of the white fragility of them was like, look, they're most comfortable when nobody's saying nothing. But if you got some blowback, they can't even have this debate and have these conversations. They don't do very well. What's that?
They don't.
Shorty on CNN to be washing them, and what's her name?
Angela Rye.
Yeah, like they can't even have. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. They don't do well. You know what I'm saying? When they gotta knuckle up in that respect, they do well when niggas is in a place.
Facts. Niggas, and with the Orenthal James,
right? We're gonna throw some bread towards you. We put you in this position of privilege.
Tiger Woods.
You're supposed to play this game. You feel me? The game is on and off the court. He wanted to throw his motherfucking towel in and say, I'm not playing this game. Oh, really? That's gonna cause a problem on the plantation. We have to make an example out of you.
Facts.
You dig what I'm saying? We're gonna go against what the dictates of what this flag represents, because he was enforcing and invoking the very principles of what the flag stood for, which is freedom of speech and expression.
Now let's talk,
right? And the right to protest.
Facts. Now let's briefly talk about the business of what we see going on right now. So, so if we see the burning of Nike products and goods by individuals who already bought those Nike products and goods, what the hell does Nike care about that? It's bad for their brand, of course, it's bad PR, but if you're buying something that you already bought, there's really no harm in that. But symbolically, what does that mean? What does this speak to the market? Now we see that they said that the market share, Nike lost a few $1 billion. $3.75
$3.75
billion in one day based off of the you know, the reaction of the stock
the
market,
market fluctuation.
the fluctuations of the market.
That's what markets do.
But when you look at the gamble that Nike is taking with this move, this is a strategic money move, an economic move on their behalf.
Dealing with longevity.
Dealing with longevity and
black athletes.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, not only dealing with longevity, but they're shifting, they're actually opening up a door for niggas to finally become stockholders and shareholders in the Nike in the whole Nike brand, right? Because with people dumping Nike, because them losing that money, that's the dumping of Nike stocks. Meaning that these Trumpers and whatnot, or these quote unquote, they're rinsing the stocks in the morning.
Yeah.
So now the Diddy's of the world, the Kaepernicks of the world, all of these $40 million quote unquote slaves that they say, the black actors of the world, everybody who's a sneakerhead, all of these sneaker fiends. You understand? The people who worship Nike as if that is a Greek god. For real. Because we know over the past decade or whatnot, there's been a resurrection of the god Nike in ways that we haven't seen it before.
Red, I want to ask. You said something. You're talking about something interesting, Red. I want to ask. I don't want to underestimate our power, and I think we do that a lot.
Yeah.
This decision that Nike made with Kaepernick, do you think this has anything? Kanye has an influence on this with his move to Adidas. And if you notice, the entire urban culture transitioning from Nike to Adidas, and the whole way the shoes are designed now. Kanye basically redesigned the sneaker. He changed up the entire game for those who that know. So do you think they're kind of fearful, like, yo, we're losing these athletes or these black, the trendsetters?
Nah, what happened is this. And Nike's been showing signs of it when they released their, what was that? The Black History Month capsule.
Right.
The Black History Month capsule had the red, black, and green Marcus Garvey Uptowns. And they also had the red, black, and green Spizikes, the reissue. And the Irvins. And they also had the,
And the Irvins.
The Irvins, the Kylie, the Aboriginal, shout out to Kyrie. You know what I'm talking about? What I forgot, I don't know your Aboriginal name. I'll find it out and I'll call you by that.
Right, Lakota. Right.
And the Zooms, the LeBrons as well, what red, black, and greens. So there was an article that was released recently that spoke about what? The woke marketplace. They identified a whole generation as the woke generation.
How much is it worth?
Then they gave it a valuation of $44 billion. And this could be researched. It came out in Forbes. Forbes was the initial article that fed all of the other publications. So what they were saying is they were painting it with a broad brush, right? They were using double language, and in the title it made it seem like the woke generation is a $44 billion generation, and they're talking about niggas who say that they're a marketplace, and they're talking about individuals who identify themselves as woke. Black Lives Matter, blacker than black. You know, all of them, you know what I mean? Black is black. You know, all of that people, you know, that whole market, that whole demographics. And then when you read the article, it was just basically broadly generalizing Generation Z. So, Nike said, well, God damn it, Nike is looking in longevity. Nike is thinking about the 18 and the 17-year-olds, 17-year-olds to 25-year-olds. My bad. The 17 to the 25-year-olds that are growing up, and they're gonna be loyal customers, right? They're weighing the buying habits of African Americans and the hip hop generation and the woke generation versus, you know, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, you know what I mean? Or guys in Boise, Idaho and whatnot, or, you know, white guys from Pittsburgh who are burning, you know, mad corny looking Nikes on their lawn. They're not even sending up J's. Did you see them burning J's? I didn't see no J's burning. No. They sending them some corny Nikes. These, you know, they burning, they making some effigies out of some ugly ass looking Nikes. So Sephora just released what is known as the witch kit. They released a witch startup kit. Sephora, the perfume store, right?
The
makeup store
Sephora?
for October, for Halloween, they're releasing a startup kit for witches that has pink quartz. This is a quartz.
That's fake news. That gotta be fake news. That's real?
This is straight facts. Pink quartz, sage. Sage, you know how my dude Abdul be saging the block on 25th?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody be walking by like, oh, what is that? Well, now they're gonna go into Sephora and buy starter kits and get on Snapchat or the gram and be like, fam, I'm a bruja, I do readings, because they got a tarot card in there too. So that's what it looks like when consciousness or when the woke marketplace is being targeted by brands. So Nike is targeting the woke marketplace, and they're utilizing because they saw what Black Panther did. They saw what other things did inside of the quote-unquote blackity black, you know, in that woke marketplace. That is a viable marketplace because it's not really the drug dealers dunking the drug dealer, you know what I mean? And he's dressed in a Nike. No, they're going more towards social entrepreneurship, social issues. They're identifying and they're Christianing. They're king making the new icons.
Hey, Phil, Nike.
Because a lot of this was done by corporate entities to begin with. NFL, Nike, you know what I'm talking about? Fox News, CNN. Like they started building up the narrative of who these new leaders and who these new, the social media sites like Facebook and Twitter and whatnot and Instagram, which are all owned, you know. So I think it's a strategic move to speak to a new demographics and a target audience that they know is a viable, if they stay loyal to the woke marketplace as a brand, as Nike, and start really pushing the narrative and the envelope, separating themselves from what they see as a failing marketplace or the same marketplace that China, Russia, India, Turkey, and a whole bunch of other people is turning their backs on. Remember, they're removing all of their reserves and whatnot from the American dollar. This is Trump and company. People, they bad business, family. They're not good business right now. They're not good for the dollar. Trump is destroying the economics of white America. Facts. He's not building it up.
That's what I'm saying. We would have to, as market analysis, look and see what has Adidas done. Post his statements, because his politics is going to follow him wherever he goes.
That's right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Kanye.
We're talking about Kanye, yes.
Yeah, to be clear.
So, you know, his company might be valued at upwards to $1 billion at this particular time, but what is the leverage going to be on the next shoe? You know what I mean? They know that that's not going to last in perpetuity. The politics is going to catch up to him.
Drake said don't wear the 350s.
And that's
in the song.
And that's going to be his what? His proverbial Achilles heel. You dig what I'm saying?
Facts.
When that shit becomes uncool, it's a wrap. And he's going to spoil at some point.
Because ain't no more music.
Yeah.
You know, there's also an article that in Bloomberg that came out that said the Kaepernick campaign created $43 million in buzz for Nike. I don't know if you also seen that article. So it's kind of, you know, there's a lot of articles. There's so many articles. There's so many articles floating around, but a lot of people feel like some people may feel like we're getting, you know, effed on both sides of the spectrum by Nike and by the fake patriots. So we should not celebrate what Nike is doing for Kaepernick. So how do you absorb this moment? Is this like Blue said, victory? This is a victory. Do you absorb this moment like this is something good happening for our people? Do you absorb this moment like it's something bad on both sides of the spectrum? What is your personal outlook on when you hear this story in the news in reference to you know?
No offense to anybody that's out here, and I'm not trying to be, you know, less sympathetic to the black man's plight and, you know, the social ills that our people are being challenged by. But no, I just explained that this is marketing. This is a money move by a corporation, right. A damn near $1 trillion or $1 billion corporation who, you know, they, you know, if you want to talk about a positive return to the community who helped make you a $1 billion brand. They've actually done nothing. You know what I'm saying? They've whatever little things that we could pull out about after school centers or, you know, Nike sponsored camps and all of that. That's nothing. I've been vending on 125th Street for more than 10 years, right? And all I've seen that's been consistent more than anything else, right? Outside of the fact that, you know, that bootleg sales
It's Nike bags.
No, is that Nike is the most sought after, right? Not Puma, not Adidas. Nike has been the most sought after brand on 125th Street from my observation. There's been a lot of brands that came and went, gained popularity and fell. Versace was popping one point, Levi's.
And let's preference this. There was an article in the New York Daily News that said the corridor, 125th corridor, is the strongest economic vein in New York City. And if New York City is the empire, they're talking about the world.
Yep. Not Madison Avenue, not 34th Street, Herald Square.
The economic corridor of Harlem only expands 4 or 5 blocks from east to west. It doesn't span the entire spectrum from one river to the next. So what is the economic engine of 125th? I had already made a post about this, right? It's rubber soles, it's sneakers.
Sneakers, fam.
What sneaker brand in particular? Nike. You dig what I'm saying? So the entire, the entire economic engine. You feel me? I'm about to block somebody. Hold on. The entire economic engine that powers the economy, we're talking hyper-capitalism here. You feel me? Is Nike. So they had to make a calculated marketing decision to put this in place. Like I said, they're playing for longevity, not the initial burn of somebody burning effigies or burning Nikes like you said that they already bought, or someone unloading the stock. It's a global market. You know how many people are going to swoop in to buy that stock? Do you know what Nike stock prices are initially? Like what it costs to have one Nike stock? And I learned this from DJ Vlad. Shout out to DJ Vlad.
$13.50 right now.
You know what I'm saying? And his stock. His stock horses.
$13.50.
You know?
350.
So yeah,
1,350
per stock. So
yeah, they did something similar with Serena Williams with the cat suit. They told her, yo, you can't wear a cat suit. Then they made the mad, yo, you're on the, you know what I mean? You're fighting for the, you know what I mean? For your freedom type of ads. And it's like, fam, you know what I mean? Come on. You know, and it's a continuation where they're getting behind people who they deem as social entrepreneurs, people who are socially woke, you know what I mean? This is the new, this is the plant-based, you know what I mean? You eco-friendly,
these are
all of that.
These are all the marketing catechisms.
This is all the catechisms. This is the wave. This is how you build up new billionaire type brands. But go ahead.
We know about, investing money in something and seeing the rewards, or, taking a job, somebody offering you money and we see the rewards. There's this unique reward we get that a lot of people can't relate to because some people are scared to do it, but it's turning down money. And when you turn down money, you see how it benefited you 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the line. That's a very strong, what he did, one of the things you said earlier is that he was doing it when everybody, he did what Kaepernick did, he did it when everybody was quiet. It was an extremely bold move when he did it.
Absolutely. Right.
So
Extremely.
it's something like the ability for a nigga to turn down money.
Yeah, it was a direct effect to his bottom line.
Yeah, yes.
I said it in the last video we did on LeBron. I said I have a friend of mine who's a hyper-capitalist, and his assessment of that particular move is all based on capitalism. It's all based on money. So he's like, yo, I think that was a bad move, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't deal with getting to the bag. He's not into social justice, looking at the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Americanism. He's looking at the bag. So he's like, that was a bad move. I was like, son, I don't think that you were seeing, you know, the way that this game fully plays out for him. You feel me? He is, in the long run, gonna create he's creating himself to be valued and worth more than NFL can ever pay him. He's gonna be priceless. Like you can't evaluate the worth of a Martin Luther King, and not to put him on that particular level, but I'm saying he's moving into that iconic status in terms of someone that's willing to stand for something in a time when everyone else is laying down and dying. It's meaningful. You feel me? During a time where nothing has meaning. Seemingly, everyone seems to be grasping for straws. And here comes this straw man, you know what I mean, who has created value to his name, to his moniker, to his station, and his position that will be immortalized. You dig what I'm saying? Like, he would not achieve that as an NFL player. Go back over there with your mother, please.
Little man. Go back over by your mother.
Go back over there with your mother.
This guy's crazy. I'm sorry. Come on. What else? What else?
Yeah, so
He want to be a star of our own.
I think that, you know, if we look at it like that, if we evaluate it from that particular place, then we can see, again, the longevity, the long game that's being played here. Not the short game. You can't see this. It's not a year, a 2 or 3 year rollout. So yes, he sacrificed, and that's the main thing. He didn't necessarily sacrifice the safety. He didn't necessarily sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, his position on the team. He didn't sacrifice his jersey because his jerseys were selling out, right? Skyrocketed, made mad money for the NFL. He sacrificed the bag.
Facts.
You feel me?
And the legacy.
And the legacy.
Is it, how much truth is there to
79 now.
to the report that Nike invests in prison labor? Because they say Michael Jordan does, but I think we find out that that's another Michael Jordan and not the basketball Michael Jordan. So this would kind of seem like kind of weird if Nike's aligning with Colin Kaepernick, but they also invest in prison labor. What can you tell the people about that?
That Nike is a corporation that utilizes manufacturing in many different factories in China, first and foremost. And and the conditions in those factories in China are described as what are known as slave labor. Not only is it described as slave labor, it's one of the driving forces that's feeding the counterfeit market. The duplicate replication market, where this is the P's right here, right? Put that on the P's right there. Like, if Rich, put the camera on the P's. That's one factory in China that is Nike, you know, this is a Nike factory in China, right? It might be even the size of the projects, right? That would be the that one projects would be the one factory, right? Now there's a bootleg factory right next to it, immediately next to it. What do? They bring in the tech packs from the Nike factory, right? They bring the workers in from the Nike factory, and they pay them double at the bootleg factory. So they get they source the same materials from the Nike factory as sourcing it. So when a truck comes in with 2 tons of a material, 1 ton is going to the duplicators, right? So this just that kind of labor that Nike is participating in is one of the main reasons why there's a complete boom, not just in Nike, Balenciagas is getting knocked off, J's is getting knocked off, Yeezys is getting knocked off. I'm talking about direct replicas, the same sneakers that the East Indians, they have a monopoly. They're selling them in hoods all around America, in the mall, on 125th, in Atlanta, in the West End, in Greenbrier for 200, 300, 400, because they're not going to tell you that it's a fake. They're going to tell you, yo, if they're selling it on resale on the internet for this much, this is how much we're selling it. Now, with all of that being said, you damn right they're utilizing slave labor as well, because companies like Nike, companies like Walmart, companies like some even, you know, I'm talking about top brand designers, companies like Callcraft, all of these companies who utilize stock market. Remember, all of these companies are being traded on the market, so it's all about the bottom line. So it's all about cutting costs. So it's all about getting labor at the cheapest.
Right.
I mean, they're lining up for that prison labor. Are you serious? Other than that, they're going to Thailand. They're going to Vietnam. They're going to Bangladesh. They're going to Haiti.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? They're going to Pakistan. They're going to China. But if they could go to Clinton correctional facilities in Attica,
it's good business. And again, we talking capitalism here. We're not talking about your emotions or your feelings. Can I have the definition of what a corporation is?
a soulless entity.
All right, see, y'all niggas need to cut it out. A corporation or a company is not going to be responsible for the revolution.
Yeah.
Right? Put that shit in your back pocket and go somewhere with that. And stop trying to count people's pockets and pocket watch about, you know, is this fair or is that
Phil
fair?
Knight coming to save you.
Like, yeah, they playing the game. You feel me? They got two ponies in the race.
Yeah, them niggas, they focusing on your 10 toes that's down.
Yeah.
They're looking at your feet the same way that niggas is walking around the street looking at everybody's feet. Nike is looking at your feet. You know what I'm talking about?
So,
they
right.
clocking feet right now
It's
in the
a
race, like Rich said.
Decision,
the Yeezys are taken.
Yeah, it's a marketing decision to capture a market and an audience and ride that shit out.
They know the
You dig what I'm saying?
trendsetters. So they're gonna go ahead and get over.
No, they know that the woke community, they know that the woke generation is a $44 billion generation that are loyal. You dig what I'm saying?
And they set the trend for the rest of the world.
That's right.
So
So
they're gonna capture it.
if there's a brand who has the ability to feed a niche rather than fight the niche, or rather than shame the niche, they're like, yo, Diddy and them is tweeting about black excellence. You know, J and B is on a black, all black, everything, blackity black, 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 black. You know what I mean?
You really like that dance, huh?
Yeah.
You-
It seems like
That's the fourth time tonight, man.
Yeah, you know what
Just
I'm
let it
talking
out, man. Let it out, man.
You gonna start JB Brown.
Give me the strom.
Don't let me start JB Block boying on y'all. But
doing
you
the
know,
dance.
yeah, give him a shroom, let him do the dance. So, you know, it's just like Blue said, this is business. Phil McKnight or Phil Knight, that nigga's not coming to save nobody in the hood. Your Nikes ain't coming to save you. You can't talk to the gum soles on your Jordans to help start the revolution. Kaepernick is not coming to save you. You know what I'm talking about? This is symbolic. This is symbolic. This is a good thing of symbology because of a lot of our people who are quote unquote asleep and in a zombie state. They need symbols to talk to them. They need symbolic gestures.
Yeah.
You know what
My
I'm talking about?
timeline was lit.
My timeline was on fire. Like, this is good for the barbershop. Being defiant and being revolutionary minded and being, you know,
And turning down
and
corporate
being
money.
and being the opposite of what we've identified as a coon.
Right.
That being rewarded. Remember,
It provides the sparks to the embers for these
yeah, because
conversations.
remember, we've always talked about reward. We always talked about value system,
Right,
reward
you do,
system,
yeah,
and
yes,
penalty
yes,
system. What Nike did is they added to the reward system.
right.
Oh, they rewarding you niggas for being woke. Oh, word, Nike. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing else past the collective egregore of the Negro. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing bigger than that.
Stop.
So Nike is almost like, you know, Nike is God to Black America.
Literally.
Literally, it's it would be one of the most respected brands that Black America endorses and gets behind, regardless of slave labor, regardless of what they over there doing in China.
Didn't Ye say Nike made LeBron $1 billion slave? Did Ye say that?
Did he? I don't remember that.
I think he said that when he
He was
first.
hating. He said that?
I think when he first signed with Adidas.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. Don't quote me, man. Don't quote me.
I mean, you know, again, we talking about everybody we're talking about is 44 resonators, first off. And we're talking about them shifting and shuffling to get control of a segment of the soul market the sneaker market, coming out of the age of Pisces, which represent feet. You know what I'm saying? These children value you by your footwear. You're not getting boxed out here if your foot game ain't together. They don't care what's going on up here.
Yeah.
It's there. Okay, so yes,
If your
that shit
sneakers
is
ain't
God. If your sneakers ain't right, you can't pipe. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's that serious.
Glad I'm in a relationship.
Amongst the generation X and Z and Y, and you know, everyone that's pretty much came after us when intellectualism went out the door. It was like, what are those?
Yeah, what are
Okay,
those?
what are those? So,
You know, I was just reminded by International P that Nike did align with Spike Lee back in the day.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
they've been doing this for quite some time.
Do the
huh?
right thing.
Yeah.
The X, when the X was popping,
Right,
you know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah,
Like
Mars Blackman.
Mars Blackman, like
Yeah.
this
Like,
is what
let's
they
talk
do.
about the whole campaign. About how, because I read this as well. They said that Prince was a major stockholder in Nike, right? Based on the whole relationship and them coming out of Portland or what have
That
you.
area.
That area. And Prince was the one that initially got Michael Jordan convinced to come over and be the campaign spokesman, you know, at that time to get the Air Jordan joint popping off. But Bo Jackson's and you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I saw the 30 for 30, I think it was an ESPN special, was talking about how did Nike actually go from a regular running track shoe to this
Behemoth.
this megalithic behemoth by way of Jordan. You know what I mean? They made an investment in his career initially, and it worked for them. It popped off.
Yeah.
It became you know, a multi-billion dollar
Unicorn.
business move. So yeah, they're gonna move and endorse him in a particular way. And Spike Lee was able to cross-brand. It was cross-marketing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna use some of this Jordan-ness energy, infuse it into my movie, because he did a lot for them in terms of popping off the Jordans the way that he did during that time. Because that was when, that was when that shit was marketable. That's when consciousness was marketable. That's when it actually meant something to the marketplace. There has been a lull in activity from that point until now, where now it has returned, it has resurfaced, right? This whole retro aspect of it coming back into vogue, that's where we at with it. So it has to play to that particular concept.
Yeah.
That's all this is. This is marketing.
Yeah.
That's Nike right there?
This is Nike right here.
Yeah.
Black.
There you go. I told y'all. There you go. There you go. He was in his crib. He couldn't wait to do that outside.
So if somebody, you know what I mean? Like if somebody was to see that, they'd be like, oh yeah, this is the spikes. You know what I mean? This is the spikes.
Right.
You know? So people get all hype. Oh my goodness, they got Kente cloth with Nike. You know what I'm saying? Everything is good for, you know, shit is coming around for us.
We made it.
We made it. Like, cut it out.
We won it. We don't even know it.
Cut it out with the empty gestures. You know what I mean? Like, this is all theater. I hope you're enjoying yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
How about that? I'm just an observer. That shit is another slide in my lecture.
You know what I mean? Just
So
observing it.
So I guess to wrap it up, last question. I guess you know, we talk about gladiator culture. Is it a stretch to say that the NFL is leading the revolution, or what's happening with the NFL is leading?
We can't ignore the fact that it is going to be once again, they have resurrected and resurfaced it as a major conversational talking point, because the NFL season is, you know, about to begin once again. So it's going to harken back into who's the next one. You know what I mean? Who's the next sacrifice? Are these people just going to be, again, representatives of this soulless entity that they're partnered with? Okay? Because the NFL is a 501c3. I don't know if that technically makes it a company as opposed to it being an S Corp or a corporation, but still, you know, they have castrated, right, the demonstrative abilities of their players by them coming into some agreement in the off season. So now it's like, okay, so what happens? Because You guys are playing for what? You're playing for legacy. You're playing for the bag. But you'll never receive iconic status of a Kaepernick. You dig what I'm saying? So who's willing to jump out of the box? Who's willing to jump into the sidelines and really play for immortality? Not just the fucking cover of Madden. And then this even goes back to even with Madden, you know what I'm saying? Taking out the song, taking out the references to
Big Sean song.
Kaepernick, right.
Song, yeah.
Big Sean song.
They let the whole song, which is a piece, you know, the song is wild crazy. They let all the other lyrics fly.
Everything else goes.
Everything goes, but take
goes.
Kaepernick's name out.
Take Kaepernick's name out.
And what alarms me is the fact that there's only one Kaepernick to this day.
Talk about it.
That's really the alarming part, that he been putting on for years, and there's still only one Kaepernick. Like, there's not a quarterback this year that's plotting on being the new Kaepernick. Last season, there wasn't a nigga who just was like, yo, I'm Kaepernicked out. I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna stand out with him. I'm gonna risk it all as well. I'm going for icon status.
No, he does have another brother on the collusion case with him that I think put his neck on the chopping block.
All right, well, kudos to that one brother, and everybody else though. You know,
I know this make Ray Lewis mad to see Kaepernick rewarded, man. This make him mad. Them coons is upset right now, man.
You gotta understand, in 2012, that was his adversary. You know what I'm saying? It was Ray Lewis. In particular, he was the one that had the other 44 energy for the Baltimore Ravens. He went into the game with 44
Damn, do everybody got 44 energy, man? Everybody you mentioned, you say they got goddamn.
Man. Niggas need to do some research.
Yo, so I mean, I guess could
that's his nemesis.
Could have the NFL? Could they have prevented all of this by just somebody signing him? Was this an ego thing? Somebody could have just signed him, and none of this will be going on right now.
But if they signed him, would he have kept kneeling though?
Right. That's them endorsing his protests. That's them, you know, pretty much, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Allowing him to win. And they can't allow him to win. Because
that's a tragedy. Because there's only one Kaepernick now, but if he wins, then that's the impetus to create. He'll multiply. Yeah. He'll charge the other players. He'll make the slaves or the bucks buck the system.
Rebel.
These niggas on the field will rebel.
His rebellion can't be rewarded.
His rebellion cannot be rewarded.
Right. They're reading out of a playbook. Same way that them players on the field.
Yeah, the same way the coach be coaching them on. They got their playbook.
I had to buck a Negro.
You feel me? So they got the niggas in the skybox this ultimately setting, but there's somebody in a higher skybox that's overseeing them. And that's the book that we're seeing play out right now. And unfortunately, in my humble opinion, megalithic brands like Nike are more in that skybox than they are in other skyboxes. So the NFL and Nike, they have a tighter and closer relationship than we may even put on.
You talking about
because it's not just Kaepernick.
Major collusion. We're speaking about a brand that's responsible for uniforms. We're speaking about a brand, uniforms for the NFL.
Helmets.
Stadiums.
Sneakers.
Scouting programs.
Camps.
Right? Going back into college. You feel me?
College. Look, then players that are endorsed in the NFL. Remember how many players they still have on the NFL? I will have to do I'll have to do my research, but I want to know how many athletes are contracted from the NFL to Nike.
Right. So the NFL had to even come out today and endorse Nike's decision to do that. They couldn't even go against them as a brand. They had to say, look, that was we're okay with that decision, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You know, whatever they said, it was politically, you know what I'm saying,
PC.
astute. Yeah, it was PC. That's where the money come from. You feel me? Who made that executive decision? So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the interim. Like you said, the long game aspect of it, how it's going to filter into the upcoming season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once again, you know,
How y'all feel about
niggas, hold on. once again, you know, niggas was able to create a spark but not hold a charge. You feel me? They couldn't make it one season with their protests. They couldn't make it into postseason with their protests.
Couldn't.
Right? Because they got an all-black team from Philly to run up in there and everybody ran behind them. You know what I mean? And there's certain, like I said, there's certain cities that are, they're football bastions that you cannot shake. Baltimore, Philly, all the crime capitals, right?
Chicago.
Chicago. You know what I mean?
San Fran.
You know, Minnesota. I'm talking about places specifically that heavily concentrated with melanin. And Minnesota is not a heavily concentrated place for melanin. But if niggas is there, you know what I'm saying? They got Viking helmets on. God damn it. So, you know, I mean, once again,
Leave your contact information, man. Leave your contact info.
Blue Pillar 44 or at Blue Pillar 44. That's on IG. Soul Gold Biz, SOLEGOLDBIZ, because niggas be inboxing me like, what did you say the site? SOLEGOLDBIZ.com, apparelnormal.com, law44.com, god damn it. Go do some research. What did I leave out? Oh, Twin the Album. TwinTheAlbum.com. Twin the movie is coming when?
September.
We in September, bruh.
September.
It's September 4th.
Hey, they ain't tell you when Drake album was dropping. This shit just dropped.
I know,
We're gonna drop in September.
but the trailer says summer 2018. So technically, we got 18 days left.
We got 18 days. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
EL_Filthmore. That's
Righteous
Twitter.
chicken. Don't forget about that.
That's Twitter. That's Instagram. Phil T. Moreland. That's YouTube. Melanin Mondays. Pull up. All right. Check us out. All right. Twin the Album. TwinTheAlbum.com. You already know what it is. Love and
Yeah.
light to the family. KingsCounty.com.
Pull up, family. Look, we got a new campaign,
KingsCounty.com.
right? Leave no stomachs behind. You dig what I'm saying? So if you're a vegan, you could come out. If you eat meat, we're gonna give you the highest quality of a food selection, right? So we have to compete with the inferior quality out here. We have to compete with the Asians. We have to compete with the Arabs. We have to compete with the Europeans, right? All of these inferior food products out here that got people running around like they smoking K2, all right? So come uptown, we up here, Righteous Chicken, East 138th and Willis. Follow the smoke. Follow the smoke, because it's billowing out here. You dig what I'm saying? Come and get you some of that cosmic kale. It's literally out of this world. That sorrow, you seen us drink it live on the program. There's nothing left, all right? That
Peace.
halal jerk. Oh, and coming soon, we're gonna have that vegan cheesecake in a minute. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Today was a good day. That cosmic kale is finito.
Cosmic Kale is
You know what I
gone.
mean? And we ain't even make it to the 2 a.m. crackhead crowd. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
when crackheads have to differentiate as to whether they're going to spend that $5 on a hit or come and get a plate, and they buying plates instead of the hits.
It's crazy.
Fact.
We doing God's work, goddammit. I said everything at this point is extra credit. I've been good
God's
in the
plan.
hood. God's
done
plan.
know.